Hey guys, Josh here. Today we are here to preview the F1 2015 Belgium Grand Prix. Of course, the first round after the summer break. It's the 11th round of the FIA F1 2015 season, and one of the greatest tracks on the calendar with some of the best corners in Formula 1. From Eau Rouge to the bus stop chicane, the Belgian Grand Prix is certainly not one to be missed. Of course, coming off the great British and Hungarian Grand Prix, hopefully the Belgian Grand Prix is going to make it 3 classic races in a row. You know, all signs probably do point to it, really. Of course, we've got the new pit car radio rules being restricted, really. You know, the number of things they can now say from the pit to the car, over the pit to car radio, has been reduced, of course, affecting the starts. It's going to be a lot harder for the drivers to now start the cars, and hopefully we're going to get some crazy starts, maybe some people getting the procedure wrong. You know, in terms of who's going to get it wrong, it could really be anyone, really. It could be some of the most experienced guys out there, could of course be the rookies. We'll just have to wait, of course, until Sunday to find out. Could definitely be one of the most exciting features of the race, the start, of course, as it always is, but certainly for this season, it's probably been better than ever, really, because it's so crucial to get in front. We've been so hard to overtake this season. You know, you really want to get the edge on the opening lap, and it's certainly going to be a hectic one, as it always is. Of course, seen many classic races around here. From 2009, of course, seeing Force India on the podium, to, of course, 2012, where, of course, we had that crazy start with Romain Grosjean eliminating 4 or 5 cars in a huge shunt. And of course 2010, at the end of the first lap, we had all the drivers skidding off, and Rubens Barrichello in his 300th Grand Prix, of course, ploughing into Fernando Alonso. And of course, who could forget 1998, spoiler alert, a 1-2 for Jordan. And you know, it's such a dramatic race, and what a fantastic race that was. And I really do hope in a few years' time we'll be talking about the 2015 Belgian Grand Prix and how great it was, and hopefully we do get a really good fight between Hamilton and Rosberg, of course. Who could forget last season, those two colliding, and you know, Vettel and Raikkonen are going to be in it as well. You would actually expect Raikkonen to have a pretty good chance of beating Vettel this weekend. It's a track that we all know Raikkonen really does excel at. Of course, he won here back in 2009 when that Ferrari was not the best car, and of course he's won here a few times as well. I believe it's 3 or 4 times he's won here, so Raikkonen is a bit of a Spa specialist, and Vettel, you know, likes this track, but it's certainly probably not his best. Of course, did win here back in 2013, but yeah, as you can see there on the screen now, we've just been overtaken by a Sauber in our McLaren. And talking of McLaren, they're getting a massive horsepower upgrade, apparently. There are rumours, some circulating, it's going to give them 60 more brake horsepower. Some say it's 100, some say it's just 20. You know, there's varying reports, but I believe it's about 60, the most reliable reports seem to be saying. So we should be seeing a big upgrade then for McLaren, which would be really good to see. The Honda are targeting catching Ferrari at this race, which I found very strange. They're catching Ferrari for the second half of this season, and then catching Mercedes for next season, which is, you know, slightly strange. But anyway, they're setting their sights very high. I doubt they're going to be the 3rd quickest team, though, here. But I think they are going to be stronger than most people are expecting, really. I mean, if you do get a 60 brake horsepower increase, then surely you're going to be up there, possibly even ahead of Force India, possibly even the 5th best team. I mean, Force India should be very strong around here. Here and Monza should be a strong track for them. They're not getting their full big spec car until Singapore, though, so that's worthy noting. In terms of more upgrades, of course, we've got Red Bull's Renault upgrade coming at Sochi, and I presume for Toro Rosso as well. Sauber are getting a Ferrari engine upgrade, I believe, for the Ferrari Works team got back in Canada, so they're getting it slightly late. They actually chose to as well. It's not over financial terms, it's just over allocation of engines, and that they don't want to get a penalty, so they basically just had to wait for the appropriate time to change their engine into one that was more upgraded, and the time is now. So we should see Sauber's performance hopefully improve, so they can actually return to the points a bit more regularly. Of course, Ericsson did score in Hungary, but apart from that, they haven't really scored very frequently since, of course, that great double points finish in Australia. So hopefully a better weekend for Sauber, and of course McLaren as well. Should be a tough weekend for Red Bull and Toro Rosso, but you never know. They'll probably be there or thereabouts. It should be a very strong race for Williams. You'd expect here, and Monza. You should expect them to possibly be the 2nd best team. I mean, if they get their act together like they did last season, I think they possibly could leapfrog Ferrari in certain races, but it's certainly not in the constructors' standings. But maybe a few races, you know, we could see Nasr and Bottas on that third step of the podium behind the Mercedes drivers. Can't see Williams challenging Mercedes, but you can kind of see Ferrari challenging Mercedes, and don't be too surprised if Sebastian Vettel wins this one. You know, we saw last year, I predicted that Ricciardo would win here last year, and he did. And that looked pretty unlikely because he had a Renault engine. So really, you know, you never know what's going to happen, and I really do hope we get another shock result. And we do see Sebastian Vettel winning here, at least in Monza. That'd be a fantastic story. As for the rest of the field, then Lotus, Force India, you know, Force India, like I said, should be very strong. You'd expect Lotus to be strong here, you know, hopefully more points for them. Toro Rosso, you know, like I said, possibly a difficult weekend, certainly in the straights, but expect them to be up there and practicing qualifying, but come the race, they'll probably be struggling and probably just going backwards, being overtaken on the Kemmel straight, probably. And yeah, obviously McLaren, you'd expect them to be higher. So prediction then for the race, I'm probably going to have to go, I'm going to be boring and go with Hamilton, Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel, I think. But you could say Raikkonen up there in third, you could predict one of the Williams drivers, but I'm going to go with the Hamilton and Rosberg Vettel. I don't believe we've had that in a while, so I reckon we're going to have that. Actually, Britain, we had that, didn't we? But, you know, I think we're going to have that again. That seems to be a popular top three this season. And, yeah, but I hope we get some good competition from possibly Red Bull or Williams and, of course, Ferrari as well, possibly challenging for the win. Hopefully we see a really upgraded McLaren who can hopefully challenge and fight with Force India and Lotus, and, of course, Toro Rosso as well. And maybe the Manor drivers as well, if it's a crazy race, as long as they just stay in and just try and, you know, just hang in there really with the Manor drivers. Also, a bit of extra news before we finish the video as well. John Booth has insisted that Fabio Lima will not be driving the car at any point during the season in the race. Merry is there to stay. So that's my preview then of the F1 2015 Belgium Grand Prix. You guys can leave your predictions down in the comment section below. I'm going to predict that it's going to be a good one, especially at the start. Probably not quite as good as Britain and Hungary, but I think it should be a solid entry into this year's calendar. Possibly a bit like, I guess you could say, a bit of a Canada or Malaysia kind of type quality. So hopefully we do get a good fight for the lead between Hamilton and Rosberg, and maybe even a bit of drama. Definitely one to watch is at the end of the Kemmel Straight on lap 1. I guarantee we're going to see some action there. So, yeah. See you guys in the next video then. I'll be doing a review on this Sunday, of course, of the Belgian Grand Prix. But until then, hope you guys have a great week. Goodbye.